Hello, YouTube fans. This is TheSkullKlown. I'm in the bathroom right now. The toilet's right here. Using that. Don't worry, the toilet gets clean. I'm in a hotel anyways, and we clean it anyways. But anyways, even though we don't have to do that, but we do it anyways. We're kind of too nice like that, I guess. But there will be an echo in here, so I'll try not to speak too loud because I know you guys can hear me. I got a little beverage right here, so I'm going to drink and react to this YouTuber and break down some of the stuff that he's talking about. Alright? Seriously, I won't put his video in the description box or anything like that. The thing is, I was sub to this YouTuber, and then I started hearing some of the stuff that he's saying, and I'm over here like, are you listening to yourself? You guys can disagree with me all you want, that's fine. But you have to admit that this company, Square Enix, doesn't give a fuck at all. He wants to point out that, well, Octopath Travel, Square Enix is still making turn-based RPGs. Look at Octopath Travel series. You know, like the series of Octopath Traveler, obviously. One of the games came out not that long ago. And I'm sure it's making money for Square, but I've been saying this for years. We're not asking for a turn-based RPG that is literally that's a Dragon Quest or a fucking goddamn Octopath Travel sequel. We're talking about Final Fantasy, you douchebags. Do you understand that shit? Apparently you don't, because you want to make every excuse under the book saying Square makes turn-based, Square makes turn-based. We're talking about Final Fantasy. We're not talking about fucking goddamn other fucking games that they were making. That is fine, you know, Dragon Quest is, I love Dragon Quest, but the reason I don't play the Octopath Traveler series is because I just don't care for it. I don't care for it. I played the demo of Octopath Travelers years ago, and I thought it was fine for what it was, but I didn't think anything of it. To me, I was just like, just call this Final Fantasy, guys. Years ago, when the first Octopath Traveler came out, I literally was screaming at the fucking DS, saying literally, change the fucking name to Final Fantasy, because that's what it is. Why are you being more creative to another fucking series that you decided to make and not continue on with Final Fantasy at all like that? The last turn-based, you could say it's Final Fantasy X. Before I start this video, I want to say something too. You could say the last turn-based was 13. You know, not 13, not Lightning, well, Lightning Returns was still turn-based. So yeah, technically all three of those games were turn-based. Just different styles of gameplay and all that. Well, 13-2 was taking the first one and was matching that and made it better and stuff like that. But technically a lot of people will be like, well, technically the last, there's a lot of people out here too that will look at Final Fantasy 1, 2, and 3 and say that those are the original turn-based ones, which they are, but when they look at the ATB system from Final Fantasy 4 through 9, actually, they hate it. They hate it. I like the ATB system. I mean, it's not in my game, but I like it. I do like it. It's funny, too, that I mentioned the ATB gauge, the time battle system that you see in Final Fantasy 7, 4, 5, 6, 8 and 9, obviously I mentioned 7 already, but over the years I have been noticing that people hate that type of turn-based style. They feel like, I need to strategize before I attack, instead of just me waiting, want to strategize real quick and then attack, basically. It's supposed to get a feel of you being more action-oriented. That's why there's the auto battle in Final Fantasy 13 to make it feel like it is action RPG. That's really it. But everyone had a fucking storm about it, like they have a fucking dildo up their ass. Seriously. But I'm saying this right now. There are people out there that are literally looking at Final Fantasy and they're like, it hasn't been the same since Final Fantasy 3. They literally have said that. I've heard that before. Well, I agree with them. No. To me, Final Fantasy hasn't been the same since Final Fantasy 13. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, go fuck yourself, to me. But other people might agree with me. don't give a shit if you agree with me or not. It's up to you. Or where do you think Final Fantasy decided to fucking end? But I would never talk shit about Final Fantasy 13, you hear me? I would talk shit about 15 and 16, but not 13. Not because it has a special place in my heart or something like that, because I understand its flaws. When I first played that game, I understood its flaws. But I still enjoyed it. I still enjoyed it and had a good time with it. You know? It's the same thing when people talk shit about those traditional anime tropes that you see in anime, and then they put them in the video games, and then people hate it for some reason. And then you see it in Kingdom Hearts, and people say that sucks, but I'm over here like, you can't watch anime then. Everything you see in Kingdom Hearts with the anime tropes is in Kingdom Hearts. And I've seen it in other animes. And I've seen it in other Final Fantasy games and other RPG games. I've seen it in Shin Megami Tensei. So the reason you get so upset about this shit is because you've been seeing it all your fucking life. And if it's not for you, why are you playing it? Why are you playing it? You're just playing something to argue about, just to literally, I don't get that. Why are you going to go to something that you know you're not going to like, or you're not even a fan of to begin with, and still talk shit about it? That's like me listening to country music. I'm not saying I hate country music. I will probably listen to a few, you know, because I think some of them are good. But overall, if someone tells me, oh, you got to get into that country stuff, I'll be like, no, I'm good. I would listen to fucking video game music at that point, to be honest, because I love that shit, you know? And Expedition 33, that soundtrack is sexy as shit. All right? Just like Sophie and Lune. Seriously. Have you seen her swimsuit? Especially Seal. Ooh, badass. But I'm going to play this video right here, guys. I don't want to waste more of your time. This video is about 24 minutes long. So I'm going to listen to what he has to say and then pause it and give my reactions to it. This guy is called Mena Kaida Jeffu. I hope I'm saying his name right. But hey, English is not my first language. It's cosmic, galactic. So let's listen to this.
This video is rated N for no one. There's a huge debate.
Well, then that makes sense.
Debating between Expedition 33 or Final Fantasy.
And you know, I made a title about that. Final Fantasy versus Expedition 33. I made that months ago before this game came out, Expedition 33. You guys know I did. Alright? You guys know that I made a video about that. Hey, you guys can check it on my channel. Because it's literally not that far down from this video. So let's continue.
Which one is better? Hey, Square Enix, this is how you make turn-based game. There are people who are saying a ton of stuff on the internet, and
is this
the facts that Square Enix
hold on. Is this what you're doing? Is this what you're doing? You literally doing this, man? Yeah, you haven't done a turn-based since 2003. There was no turn-based in this gap. No turn-based. Literally no games until this. I don't know if he made that, but the fact that he's using that, even if I saw that on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, if I saw that shit, I would have rolled my fucking eyes. Because you guys know that I'm a big Dragon Quest 11 fan. And I love Shin Megami 5 Vengeance. Not to say I didn't hate the other Shin Megami 5, but I've been getting into Shin Megami lately, and it's just so freaking good. The reason I went to those games is because Square's not giving me Final Fantasy. You know? And then Expedition 33 comes out, and I'm over here like, this is what I've been asking for Square Enix. And it just popped my eyes. Like when I first heard about it, when it was first announced and I saw it, it was only for PS5. I was kind of disappointed because I didn't own a PS5. Now I want to own a PS5 just to play this game. And I'm playing this game at my friend's house because he bought it so I can play it. Because I've been talking about it with him, and when we both saw it, when I showed him the trailer together, he's like, bro, this is good. I'm like, yes, it looks good. Like, sometimes when you have that foresight of like, wow, this is going to be a masterpiece, or this is going to be memorable, or maybe even better change gaming. And it is. It is. But the thing is, a lot of people might say that, hey, it's too soon right now. Maybe we'll wait for maybe a sequel or prequel to Expedition 33, and then we see. I'm not going to blame you on that, but I will say this, that it's breaking a lot of narratives that the gaming industry wants to hold deal to the point that it's like, oh, we need to have a game that's $70 or $100. We need a game with microtransactions. We need a game that has that has nothing in it, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and literally, or Final Fantasy VII 15, and be like, yeah, we put all this side stuff, and then here's a story, and the story is short as fuck. It's like 2 or 3 hours long. Thank you. Thank you for making a fucking story that's 2 or 3 hours long, realizing, oh shit, you don't have a game, and you put filler in it. That's how I feel with Final Fantasy 15, and I don't give a shit about that game. I don't mind the characters. The main characters, the main trio boys that you're with, those are my boys. And I hate that I played a game that you had characters that would have been so much better in another freaking Final Fantasy game. You put them in a world in a place that sucked. And I'm not going to mention other developers or other directors that came to that game and all that. No, overall, it's the company's fault, Square Enix. Square side of it, basically. You know, you can blame the writers and the directors and all that, but overall, it's still the company's fault. You know? So moving on. Because this company needs to have the fucking foresight of knowing what the fuck the consumer wants. And you don't want to listen to that. Just like what Yoshi P said, these high-end graphics like you see in Expedition 33, it would be too unrealistic to do with a turn-based style. So we decided to go to the action route. And how's that working out for you? And me, I was opening to it until I played Final Fantasy 15, Kingdom Hearts 3, and the City of NT. And I was just like, I'm done with you fucking people. I'm done with you fucking people. I don't want to hear about a Final Fantasy 9 remake from you motherfuckers. I want to hear what Final Fantasy 17 is going to be. And if it's not like what you see in Expedition or what you're doing with the Octopath Travel shit, then guess what? I'm 100% done with this fucking company. I probably won't buy Dragon Quest anymore. And that's fucking sad because I love Dragon Quest. Because you know why I love Dragon Quest? Because it's actually doing what Final Fantasy should be fucking doing. So moving on.
Tons of stuff on the internet, and without knowing the facts that Square Enix did or still make a lot of turn-based game, and it did sell million copies as well. Like
I said, do I have to say this argument again? Oh, they made 10 millions of copies. They still make turn-based, and they sell millions of copies. Yeah, you're talking about what's it called? Octopath Travels 2? Is that what you're talking about? Wow! And you guys know how I feel about that series. You know, I'm like, hey, if you love it, that's fine, love it, enjoy it. But that is not what I'm asking for Square. So every time I ask for a Final Fantasy game that's turn-based, has realistic graphics or graphics that you see in Final Fantasy 13, apparently they don't want to do that. But then you play Final Fantasy 15, and you see how Final Fantasy 16 is, and you over here like you want to do it, but yet you still trying to do that action RPG stuff. You literally you're making excuses of not to do turn-based RPGs with realistic graphics, basically. And the closest that we got was with 13. Not to the extent, because it was still kind of, anime, everything, realistic anime. That's why I like to call Final Fantasy 13. It's realistic anime, while Expedition 33 is more realistic of like what? Grand Theft Auto or something like that. Even though Grand Theft Auto has that cartoony realistness to it, Kind of like we've seen GTA 4 and also in GTA 5, because they're paying homage to those classic Grand Theft Auto games that came from the past, because that's what they would look like in high-engine PS5s, PS4s, and PS3s, basically, So That's in my interpretation. You can agree or disagree if you want to, but here we go.
Octopath Traveler, which is kind of like a game, an RPG game that people really like as well, especially if you're a JRPG fan or you're an RPG fan. You probably
That's the thing. I'm not saying this. I'm not saying Octopath Travelers 2 is a bad game. I'm looking at it and it looks beautiful. It's just that this type of style that they've been using lately, they were trying to do that with their other remakes, like Live and Live. It works for Live and Live, but when you try to do it for other games, and it's literally you looking at all these other games out 8-bit that are like, well, we can't make them 3D because it has turn-based. So might as well make them chibi, 8-bit, because that's what because people are going to be used to that, and they're going to ask themselves, oh, they can't make a high-end 3D model with turn-based because A, B, and C, and D for some reason. Even though Expedition 33 literally was just like, go fuck yourself. You have no idea what you're doing. No idea what you're doing. Seriously.
Heard the title before, and so as a guy who platinum a lot of Final Fantasy games, and a guy who bought this game because I love Expedition 33 so much. This This could be my game of the year. I'm that guy.
It's probably my game of the year too. But the thing is, I probably can't say that is because I barely play a lot of games that have come out this year. Because there's nothing that holds me. The only game that holds me this year is Expedition 33. There's no other game. Except for the other game that Atlas just made. Atlas and Expedition 33 and maybe sometimes Dragon Quest. And that's it. That's it. I don't care about anything else. I don't give a fuck about anything else. You think I give a fuck about GTA 6? I don't care. I don't give a shit. Go ahead if you care, but I don't. So don't make me care just because you do.
Versus Expedition 33. Let's go. First of all, let's talk stories. Expedition 33 did a very good job with the hook. They took the Nikkei Marian route. If you guys never played Nikkei, just ask anybody. They would say the story is good because they take the same route that in the first 30 minutes in the prologue, it hooked you in and you'd be like, what just happened?
Yeah.
I want to know more.
Yes.
Let me play more. I want to know more, I want to play more, and that's what that is. So here I will use Steam, because I tried the game on Steam, so I will use Steam as a margin, to just compare between, the Final Fantasy games and the Expedition 33, because I'm going to use Steam with the refund system that they have in their policy, right? You can try...
I wonder if he's going to mention the high budget shit that Final Fantasy has, like Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth and 16. I wonder if he's going to mention the high budget stuff compared to the budget that Expedition 33 had. I don't know if this is true, but supposedly Expedition 33's budget was only 10 mil or 5.5 mil. And I'm going to make a future video. I'm still researching that to see if it's really true and all that. And if it is, I'm making a video literally saying Expedition 33 and Godzilla -1 proves to all of you that all of you are freaking stupid and don't know what to do. Because those two are great examples of why the way Hollywood is and the way the gaming system and the way the gaming industry is. I'm going to mention that right now. Seriously. Godzilla -1 and Expedition 33 are literally telling Hollywood and the gaming industry to fuck off. I love it. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. For crying out loud. There was some high executives in the movie industry, film industry, that wanted Godzilla -1 out of the theaters as fast as possible. Why? I bet you can find that article. I think you can find that article. But I remember hearing that shit. And I'm like, I won't be surprised if it's true. I wouldn't, because at this point, seriously.
Buy a game on Steam within 2 hours. And if you don't like the game or there's some sort of problems that happen with your games, if it's 2 hours, within 2 hours, you can actually refund the game. And that's exactly what I did with Expedition 33 on Steam. I tried the game out and I fell in love with the game. it is so good. I found out the game in the first 40 minutes. It was 40 minutes for me because I just exploring around the places and stuff. But most of the people would just play the game and just try to know what the hell is this. Doesn't really go and explore much. They just went and straight ahead. It's around within 30 minutes. You can hit the harbor and you get your hook and you'll be like, what? You'll be like messing around, yeah, sure, it's just another video game. And yeah, you'll be like that, but then it hits you with the hook. You'll be like, hey, wait a minute, this is so good.
I will admit this, you shouldn't rush these RPG games. Take your time with it. Because when it's over, what the fuck you gonna play? Some Mario game that hasn't been good since the fucking Super Nintendo era? Look, I love Mario 64. I'm fucking paying homage to that in my game. But we have to admit, Mario hasn't been good since probably the regular DS, even though I like Mario 3D Land. But the thing is, there was just bits and pieces, not the whole thing. Mario hasn't been good since the Super Nintendo era, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. That's just to me. And to be honest, I might not even say that. Because I would think the pinnacle is still Mario Brothers 3. Seriously. And I know how much people love Super Mario World, trust me. I have people that love that game to death. I know how much people love that game to death. Because I hang out with people that love that game to death. But to me, Super Mario Brothers 3, that's it. That's the peak of Mario, and that's it.
Expedition 33 did a really good job on that. It hooked you in 30 minutes. It keeps your money. I decided to buy it on the PS5 because, you know, my Steam version doesn't really work that well. My PC is not really that great, so I decided to buy a PS5 version so that I can play it much more well and more optimized. You know, it's very well optimized for PlayStation 5 because console games optimize more stable than PC because it's just one system.
I have heard stuff like that. I have heard stuff like that. I'm sorry, the video saying slow connection, I saw about that. I'm just going to keep on going.
Play on PS5. Despite I tried the game on Steam. Now, let's talk about Final Fantasy. So, I was saying that 2 hours time limit thing. Final Fantasy, it's a Japanese game, which in Japanese, usually they have this Kisho Tenketsu. Usually when they make some sort of media, drama, games, music, whatever it is, they will more likely to apply this rule. Kisho Tenketsu, which means ki is like the awakening, the opening of something. It could be a show, it could be a thing, you know, it's just remember it's like ki, the awakening, the opening, right? Sho, the up, the building up, the build up. And then ten means the change. Which is, it could be like, you know, if you see like an anime or like a show or like a drama or whatever.
I get it. I know what he's talking about. He's talking about the story peaks. You know how you're in school and they tell you about the story peaks? Like, first it's the beginning, then you get the climax, and then you get the end. It's the story beats. I don't know why he didn't say story beats. Or the story chart thing.
Impression session. It has the drop.
Right. I mean, that's not a complaint. I'm just wondering why he didn't mention that, but okay.
The 10, and then Ketsu, which is the ending. It could go up, it could go
I mean, he's talking about the Japanese language of it, which is fine, but I'm just talking about, like he could have just said for you that don't know, but, you know.
Right?
But,
that's the outcome, that's the result.
I mean, you could say it's a nitpick, so, sorry.
The end, which is the ending, Ketsu. So, usually in Final Fantasy, you can see this pretty well.
Yeah.
You have the awakening, the starting of the game.
Did you see your Final Fantasy 10?
Final Fantasy 9, it's like...
And then 13.
Story of a bunch of thief brigades wanted to kidnap the princess.
Lost Rebels.
But that's because they were hired by one of the king from another kingdom, which is the uncle of the princess.
Yes.
So you were supposed to kidnap her, but then it did not happen because a lot of shit happens. They try to retaliate. And then it falls, you drop down into a forest, And from there your journey starts, and that itself, it hooks you in. It started slow with Vivi walking into the castle and stuff, but it's still pretty cool. It's slowly built up the awakening, but it still hooks you in within the 2 hours. Once when you reach within these 2 hours, you will get your hook, you will be settled for the whole games. Heck, if you think Final Fantasy 16, that game has a demo. If you think this game's not gonna hook you in within 2 hours, you were wrong. This demo within the...
I didn't play Final Fantasy 16 because I just didn't care. I just didn't care. When someone shows me a product and I don't give a shit, I'm not playing it or buying it. Common fucking sense. I know a lot of people say that 16 has a good story, but the RPG shit is non-existent and the gameplay is basically, might as well just play Devil May Cry. Oh, Kingdom Hearts 2. Ooh, did I say that out loud? Let's move on.
The 2 hours time period, it actually would hook you in the first 30 minutes already. The icon battle in this game is just epic. It's so cool. It is so unbelievable epic.
I don't think it is epic. The Titan battles, the summon battles in 16, wow, you're on a grid, most likely. Just like when you're flying in freaking 15. Oh, look, I'm on a call, guys, and it's flying. No, you're on a freaking grid. Like you're in a freaking Mickey Mouse park. Stupid. Stupid.
Very cinema, like cinema.
And that's the problem. That's the problem. You see what I'm talking about with these YouTubers, man? They literally are like, hey, look at this. It's so cinematic. Really? How come you can't make a cinematic while you're actually playing the game? Like you see in Expedition 33. And other games are like that too, because Expedition 33 is not the only game that does that. Alright? I've seen that happen in Dragon Quest games sometimes. Alright? Seriously. But, you know, no one doesn't want to mention that, you know? Because like, apparently, fuck Dragon Quest, right? Fuck that game. Fuck the whole series because it doesn't have action RPG elements for you to actually get into the series. Then don't get into the series then. Plus, there's other side Dragon Quest games that has action RPG. You know why? It's because Square wants you to get into the series. That's what Square should have done with a side Final Fantasy game. Basically. But they still didn't do that. They want to make their mainline shit action RPG. When you could do your side stuff, action RPG, and your main stuff, turn-based RPG. Why was this so hard? Why is that so hard? I discussed this years ago, before Final Fantasy 15 came out. If you've been in this channel for a long time, you remember. And if you do remember that, you deserve a nostalgia cookie, because you've been here for that long. Seriously.
Betrayal that happens at the end of Prologue, you'll be like, what? And then you're supposed to be a prince. You fall from a prince, a very good prince, to become a slave, which what they call the barrows in there. So if you want a dark story, there is a dark story there. Gritty, bitty, darky.
I play Dragon Quest V.
Kind of story. And it does hook you in everything.
Because that happens to you too in Dragon Quest V. You realize that you have money, but that leads you to a point for you to realize, instead of you, oh, I'm already king, I'm already living it, and then you lose it. No, sorry, to me that's not engaging. That's not engaging at all. That's not engaging at all. You're just gonna get it back anyways. You finding out over time when you're growing up in freaking Dragon Quest V and figuring out that, oh, I'm royalty, that's cool. And guess what? Nothing happens, basically. Nothing happens to you or the kingdom because why? You got back your kingdom. Oh. But I don't know why people get engaged into stuff like that. If you do, that's fine. But to me, that's a stupid way to get engaged. It's not, I'm not talking flat out about this YouTuber about it. I'm talking about just people in general. I don't know, that does not engage me at all. Doesn't engage me. Doesn't get, what's better to be engaged with? You as a kid growing up with your father, seeing what happens to your father, and then all of a sudden you seeing what happens to you because you go into slavery too as a child in Dragon Quest V, and they even whip you and shit like that. Yes. They don't care. They don't hold back in that game. They don't give a fuck because they had balls.
2 hours. That's the most important part here. Before you click refund, you will not. You're like, oh, this is good. I'm keeping this game. That's exactly what happened to me with Final Fantasy 16. But I'm biased with Final Fantasy. I love Final Fantasy, so here is the topic, right?
And the thing is, look, sometimes our biases doesn't really help for a lot of people. Look, I even mentioned that I'm biased with Final Fantasy 13, but do I understand its flaws and what people criticize it with? Yes. But is anyone going to say the same thing with Final Fantasy 15 or 16? Is he going to say the same thing with that? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. A lot of people hate Final Fantasy 16. You'd be surprised. And is he even going to mention the sales that Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth didn't get? And 16? There's a reason why I always mention it in these videos. Because it has to be mentioned. I don't want no one to forget about that crap. Because it's true. Alright? And apparently everyone that's a high YouTuber around here or wants to grow on YouTube wants to forget about it. No, you're not going to forget about it because I'm here, motherfucker. I'm going to remind you of it. I don't care if you cry in your bed about it. This company does not care.
You guys have to compare between Final Fantasy 16 and Expedition 33, the sales. I see a lot of people using this sales thing. Hey, look at that, Expedition 33 proof. The turn-based is still well. Look at this, 1 week. It's sold 1 million copy.
I've said this in another video before. Turn-based has always been around, and it's not going to die, even though people want it to die. Because remember, there was a part when people were like, "Oh, we don't need turn-based anymore." Yes, there was a time when people said that. Does anyone forget about this now? No, I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired when people hear something, ignore it, and then they say something else. And acting like that never fucking happened. I hate that crap. I hate it. I fucking hate it. No, you don't do that crap. You don't do that crap. You don't do that crap. Because it doesn't change the gaming industry, and it doesn't change what's happening with the gaming industry. And it's not changing your stupid fucking mindset. And again, most people might think I'm directly talking about this YouTuber, but it's people in general that act like that. Am I wrong? Am I the fucking crazy one here? Then fuck off. I want to play Expedition 33, Final Fantasy 13, and all the other Final Fantasy games and not play no more Final Fantasy games after that, newer ones. Yep, I'm dead serious. Dead fucking serious.
And then the action game people came in. It's like, look at this. 1 week. 3 million copies. And they were like, oh man, Expedition fans was like mad. And they would be like, what? But what's the budget for the Expedition 33? What's the budget? 50 million. That's what the budget is. What is the budget for Final Fantasy 16? I'm not pretty sure how much the budget is, but it does.
I made a whole fucking video telling you the budget of Final Fantasy 16. This motherfucker doesn't know fucking about it. I could look it up right now. Let's see the budget for Final fucking Fantasy 16. And remember, Square Enix says it did not meet high expectations. You can look that up right now. Don't tell me that I'm a fucking liar. Alright? What was the budget for Final Fantasy 16? No, not the profit, the budget. Why are you trying to tell me the profit? I'm talking about the budget. I don't care about the fucking profit. Seriously. Seriously. I could have searched. You know how sometimes I search this up and then all of a sudden you freaking change it? No. You don't do that shit with me. You don't. Because I'll find your shit out and I'll find your freaking dirty shit. I don't give a fuck. I've done it with the fucking government and I do it with them. Motherfucker, don't fuck with me. The FBI came to my house and I fucking called them out on their bullshit and they left. So don't fuck with me. Don't fucking fuck with me with this shit. Alright? Seriously. If I take too long, I'll skip it. But you guys know I made a fucking YouTube video about this. I even made a short. If you want to check my shorts, I even made one of those videos so you guys can see what it was. Seriously. It should say hero. See, it doesn't say the budget. And why are they saying that? And why are they saying, oh, it's, and why they're talking about how much they made? Even though Square Enix was hiding how much this game made. See, again, it's not consistent. It's not consistent. It's not consistent. And we all know this. If you have two walking brain cells in your fucking head, we all know this shit. We all know this shit. We all know this shit. And it's funny too, because Clive in Final Fantasy 16, his voice actor is in Expedition 33. I'm not saying he's a bad actor in Final Fantasy 16, but good God, he's getting more of a highlight in this game. And anyone that played 16 are like, oh my God, Clive, yeah, you know? It literally, like, for some people that played that game, it looked like when something happened to one of the characters, I'm not gonna spoil it, it's almost like he came out of nowhere and freaking came out here and he was like, yep, the Final Fantasy character is here. And it's like, pretty much. Pretty much. I'm not complaining about that. I just looked at it like, Expedition 33, see what you're doing.
It looks like higher, right? It's a AAA title games, it's Square Enix, they have the money. But you guys forgot one thing. Final Fantasy 16 sold 3 million copies, despite it being PlayStation 5 exclusive.
Why does everyone always say that shit? Why does everyone always say that shit? Didn't I make videos talking about that this game is like, let's see how it is on Metacritic. Let's see how it is on Metacritic. Seriously. Because I made a short saying that Sony only cares numbers that go up to 90. If it goes to 80 or 70, they don't care on Metacritic. They don't want their scores to be 80 or 70. They want it to be 90. And guess what Expedition 33 got? 93. Oh, 90. Can you believe that shit? Compared to, look, I love The World Ends With You, but that got a score on 80 on Metacritic. And it's funny that someone will say that, well, The World Ends With You, me or The World Ends With You sucked. But you won't say that with Final Fantasy 16, right? Because you like it, right? Exactly. Don't be a fucking hypocrite with me, because I will literally knock you out. With verbal words and action if I have to. Because don't fuck with me with that shit. Don't be a fucking hypocrite and a fucking bastard. Are you a bastard? Are you a bastard child? Maybe you are. I don't know. If you got offended about it, most likely you are. What was going to see? Let's see. Okay, hold on. What was the budget for Final Fantasy 16? See, they just keep showing me bullshit. See, right here, it says, people also ask, how much did Final Fantasy 15? I said 16. Did I say 15? You know what? Let's change that. There's nothing here. There's nothing here. I literally just want to... Here, hold on. Literally. David Jaffe, I don't watch his videos a lot anymore. Because I feel like he's a problem too. But he's mentioned stuff like this before. Alright, so I'm gonna show it right here. Hear this right here. Alright, this video was 3 months ago, and I posted something 3 months ago too, talking about Final Fantasy 16 not doing well. Look, there's even an article about it. Square Enix, Final Fantasy 16 did not meet high-end expectations. Shared prices fall. Okay? For those of you that want to be ignorant and be like, oh no, Ecstasy didn't make money, really? So if it made money, how come it didn't meet the high expectations for Square Enix? Are you blind? Can you read? Final Fantasy 16 didn't meet high-end expectations. Meaning it failed for them. Wake the fuck up. How dumb are you? How dumb do you need to be to realize that this game fucking failed and no one didn't give a fuck about it? Japanese didn't bite and American didn't bite. I don't care if you fucking like the game. No one didn't get the game. Overall. Alright? Overall, no one didn't get shit. Alright, this video was 3 months ago and I posted something. Alright. So there was that. And let's see. Maybe it's in the shorts. It has to be in the shorts. Let's see. Okay. So, I'll go back to the video soon, guys. I'm sorry. 90s. Let me see. Yep, here it is.
But listen to this.
Look at the title.
So
This is what my title is called. Sony and Square Enix demand 90s for Final Fantasy 16, not 88 for Final Fantasy 16.
Comes out, gets an 88. Most people are really excited. Most people are happy. And what's not to love? Well, it is a little weird that it's also on the same day that the FTC comes out, and I am not going to get into I'm so fucking tired of talking about the Activision Microsoft thing. It's just that I'm going to touch on this very, very briefly. Very, very fucking briefly, and then we're going to move on to games, because who's not sick of this? But I feel it's my responsibility to bring you this data and talk about this data briefly. FTC says, hey, the fact that Starfield and Redfall are exclusive is powerful evidence against Activision Blizzard's merger. Well, first off, what all Activision needs, all Microsoft needs to do is go, you know what? You're right. You can have Redfall, PlayStation. We'll give it to you for free. Silver Joystick says 88 is below PlayStation standards, at least according to Raf Garcetti. Who left PlayStation and was on a podcast recently and said that they demand 90s. So it says 88 is below PlayStation standards, at least according to Raf Garcetti, who left PlayStation and was on a podcast recently and said that they demand 90s. 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 That they demand 90s.
Yeah, I do not care showing off that video. Seriously. Because this YouTuber right here that I mentioned not that long ago, really? I feel like fucking The Miz from WWE. But, hold on. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm sorry, people. I am sorry. Okay, let's continue forth.
Expedition 33 was all over. You know, she's getting fucked all around, like like a bitch, yeah, Xbox, please, yes. Oh no, PlayStation, oh no, Steam. That's what Expedition.
You sound like the same people that sucked the dick of Final Fantasy 16. You know, look, I say this right now. I was hyped for Expedition 33 when I first saw it. Could have been shit. Yeah. And I would have never bought anything on PlayStation 5 ever again. Because I didn't care for the console to begin with anyways. You know? And that's sad because of games that Atlas is making. And if I find out that's on PS5, I won't hear like, I'm good. Oh, get it on a PC. I'm good. Oh, get it on Xbox. I'm good. Oh, get it on the Switch. I'm good. That's how I am right now. I'm literally like that right now. If I didn't want to get it in one other system, why the fuck would I get it in the other systems? You guys are high, thinking that I'm going to fucking do that shit. No, I'm not. If I don't care for the product, I'm not buying it. Plain and fucking simple. Seriously. And is this motherfucker ever gonna fucking goddamn mention that Final Fantasy 7 Remake, especially Rebirth, and Final Fantasy 16 didn't do shit for this company? Because they have too much higher expectations. Yeah, they do. But guess what? No one's not paying attention to that. You know why? Because they're paying attention to more of other bullshit and other stuff that probably does matter more than just, oh, they're greedy. Wow, okay. So is every fucking company in the world. Look at fucking Disney. They've been greedy ever since Walt Disney was around. So get in line when you say that these companies are greedy. No shit. No shit. Oh, I didn't know. News to me. I thought I was born yesterday.
Was everywhere. Let me tell you one thing. Exclusivity builds identity. Do you know?
This guy's talking about exclusivity. You look. There's a reason why exclusives are dying. And this YouTuber right here, I'm going to say it again, and I'm probably going to butcher it. I don't give a fuck. Jeff U? What's the U stand for? But anyways, this guy, like, did you just hear what he just said? There's a reason, bro. There's a reason, man. You only got 107 views and 6 likes. There's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. If you're trying to reach that high pedestal and be that YouTuber that speaks to the people, then guess what? You're not doing it. You're not doing it. You're not doing it. Because look.
Steve! That's what Expedition 33 was. Everywhere. Let me tell you one thing. Exclusivity builds identity. Steve! That's what Expedition 33 was. Everywhere. Let me tell you one thing. Exclusivity builds identity.
The only one that has exclusives is technically Nintendo. And even that's dying because people can just literally play that on their Steam Deck or online by hacking shit. Or homebrewing it. Sorry. No one doesn't have to buy these physical games anymore. My friend has told me so many times, yo, Remy, if you're watching this, shout out to you. He's told me so many times that he's like, I never bought fucking games. I just bought like a cart or something like that and just put it in there and I could just have all these free games. And there's another one where he said that he could just buy like a Steam Deck or something. For example, I don't think it's exactly like a Steam Deck. And he could just download these games. Seriously. Like, what's the problem? What's the problem? And that's not going to stop. I don't give a fuck who you are. That's not going to stop for each video game company like Nintendo that doesn't want that, guess what? You're not going to fucking get it. People want to pirate shit no matter fucking what. Alright? And these freaking YouTubers out here being upset saying that I'm not condoning piracy. But I'm over here like, no, I condone it. Fucking do it if you have to or you want to. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Nothing. You can't do shit. You can't do shit. You can't do shit to me. Seriously, just because I said, yeah, go ahead, pirate it, doesn't mean that, oh, I'm going to go to jail or some shit. You guys are high. You guys are too fucking pussy whoop fucking stupid as fuck if you think that shit. Seriously, you're more scared of your own fucking government than the own fucking shit you give in your own fucking toilet.
You know the most sold games in Japan is Super Mario? And Final Fantasy is like that top 5. I think it's like on 4th or...
Like I said, Mario hasn't been good since the Nintendo era. Yep, I said it. Since Mario Brothers 3. And I played a lot of Mario games. And I never got the same feel for Mario like I got from either Super Mario World and Super Mario Bros. 3. Again, I love Mario 64, I do. But that, if I compare to those two games, I'm going to say that game is shit.
3rd or something like that, like maybe even 5th or something. I think that it's like Mario, Pokemon.
And then you're going to have those people being like, oh, come on, don't be too harsh on it. It was the first 3D game and stuff like that. Yeah, and how did that work out? And how did that work out for them? Oh, brilliant. Yeah, I bet, right? Nintendo's just milking every 3D Mario game. Mario Odyssey is fucking great, right? It's fucking great. No, it's crap. Mario Odyssey is crap. It's crap. That's why I don't want what Donkey Kong Bonanza, I don't want that to be crap either. But Nintendo's already making it crap, mainly because of what their business policy is going to be. So fuck off. And he's not even mentioning what Expedition 33 is doing to the gaming industry. He's not even mentioning that. Like, it's a small indie dev. Yes, they have probably outsourced, and if they did, they did. If they didn't, they didn't. Who gives a shit? The fact that this was made by a small team, even if it was 33 people or not, it was still a small team, a small indie company that literally made a freaking game that's a triple A game. And it's functional and it's good and it plays like what it used to be back in the PS3 era, in the PS1 and 2 era. Stupid fucking concept, right? Stupid concept. Stupid concept.
And then maybe Final Fantasy or something. It is on that high above most sold game. That's how much it's sold.
And yeah, he's not talking about that. No one didn't get Final Fantasy VII Remake, Rebirth, and 16. Because people saw Square's bullshit when they played Final Fantasy VII Remake. Some of them did, especially here in America. Look at the sales that you see in America compared with the sales from Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth. Look at those two and tell me that that's not good. When you have a game that probably has a lot of money, I'm not saying it sell good or anything like that, but if it made money, at least for them to be like, okay, let's keep going at least, and they made a sequel to it, and it didn't make profit, especially if it didn't make more profit from the other two, then guess what? They failed. They failed. As a company, they failed. You guys thinking that, oh, this game was great, this game was beautiful. Not with that dough. Not with that dough. With them, they're looking at that dough and they're like, this is not beautiful. This is not great. We just lost money. That's why I mentioned before, not that long ago, what's Final Fantasy VII Remake 3 gonna be? Literally. And I've already pointed out that they're gonna make freaking like a two-parter, 4 and 5. And I won't be surprised if they milk that and just make it into 7 discs. I'm not saying that will happen, but I will guarantee you this. They will make Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3 into 2 parts. They will do that. They will do that. Watch them do that. If they don't, then they don't. You can call me out right here about it. But if they do, you heard it here first. TheSkullKlown. And now you can subscribe because I'm talking truth.
Final Fantasy is on the top notch.
All you have to see is the pattern with these motherfuckers. That's all you have to see. It's not that hard. And you have to see the foresight of how these motherfuckers are. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. Seriously.
It could not even be compared. That's why Final Fantasy will get 1 point. And Expedition 33 gets 0.5 point. Because, yeah, it got the...
And he's talking about this game made 1 million sales. Well, right now it has 2 million sales. Right now, Expedition 33 has 2 million sales. And he's talking about Final Fantasy 16 having 3 million sales. Shouldn't Final Fantasy have, I don't know, about 50 sales? It's Final Fantasy. That's why when I was talking to my friend not that long ago, why isn't that Grand Theft Auto 6 coming out this year? Because they're Grand Theft Auto, they're Rockstar. Rockstar shouldn't give a fuck. They should literally look at all the competitions and be like, shit, we don't give a fuck. We're definitely going to fucking release it today and destroy your shit. They don't care. They will do that because that's how this company is. And they've been like that forever. What do you think we love them so much at the time? You know? Back when San Andreas and Grand Theft Auto 4 was around. You know? But now... they have that mindset. Now I feel like Rockstar is scared. Guys, I mentioned this before and I will mention it again. What is the difference with what's gonna be different from Cyberpunk 77 and GTA 6? What's going to be the difference from that? Just because one is futuristic doesn't mean anything. I'm talking about what does Cyberpunk 77 did that GTA 6 did not do? And every time I tell people that, they look at me like, because they're thinking about how Cyberpunk 77 it did in that game. And they're like, they did this, they did that, they did this. What's GTA 6 going to do? Are they going to do this? Are they going to do that? If they don't, then might as well play Cyberpunk 77. And some idiots around here are probably going to be like, well, they took notes of Cyberpunk 77. Really? Did they, though? Did they? Did they? Or did they saw how broken the game was and they were like, we don't have to listen to this game? Yes, you could say that, oh, the reason it was broken is because they were making it and people wanted it so bad, so they just released it out. I don't care. I don't want to hear the excuse. I don't want to hear bullshit. That's all I hear is bullshit. Because that company, Rockstar, they don't give a shit. They saw it, that game came out, it came the way it went, and they were like, we don't have to worry. Maybe you do now. Why GTA 6 didn't come out this year? How long GTA 6 has been in development? How long? How long it's been in development? GTA 6 could have came out this year and destroyed everything. It could have. I mean, I wouldn't fucking get the game. I wouldn't fucking give a fuck. It would give me more motivation to go out there and play better games, or probably better than GTA 6. What are you going to do? Go with your girl and guy and shoot a whole bunch of people and do missions and that's it? That's the end of the game? And now we're going to do GTA Online? Wow, I'm so excited. Yay. Fuck Rockstar.
Pretty okay, you know, Hulk. But the Hulk is 30 minutes. It's only been 1 hour, so it's like half of an hour. And so it's 0.5. That's the score. Let's talk characters. The characters in Expedition 33, they did a pretty good job. We got a bunch and tons of costumes that you guys can...
I feel like I should not continue this video, guys, because I feel like you're getting tortured by listening to this. And it's only 9 minutes and 3 seconds. Even though it's 24 minutes long.
Mess around with the character development, it's pretty well.
I'll go a little bit further because he's talking about characters right now. And I know a lot of people are going to argue with me with this too. With the characters. So
a very depth character inside of them. A nice story behind them. And of course, Luna's boobs jiggles. Even the others, they do jiggles. Male kinda flat to jiggles, but she's also female. Do not mistaken that, okay? She's not male.
Do you really know, do you know this, that Mael is 16 years old? Like, hey, like, if I was 16 or 15 years old, you know, I would have been attracted to all of these 3 women. But I'm not. I'm 31 years old, so I'm only attracted to the older females, you know? Like, what is it? Seer and Lune. I hope I'm saying her name right. I'm sorry, but I've been, you know, what is that? I've been, I have to get used to these names. Excuse me.
So, I think they've done a pretty good job in the character design, but come on. Tifa. No.
He's gonna say enough said. And I already mentioned the whole thing with Tifa. They censored her. And Square admitted it. So much so that they made her boobs bigger in Rebirth. And people have pointed out, even Tifa's bigger titties in this version couldn't even save the game. And you know what? That's how I'm going to end this video right here. Because this YouTuber doesn't deserve my fucking day. Seriously. I'm done. I'm done with this YouTuber. I'm done. I was going to watch the whole thing with you guys and see what's up and all that, and maybe I could have finished the characters, but I know everyone was going. I knew who was going to mention Tifa, because everyone always mentions Tifa. Oh, I love the way she is. Let me point this out. What Eric says. Am I the dumbass? Yes, you are, because no one doesn't want to save you in this version. Everyone wants you dead in this version. Seriously, even Square Enix can make up the mind if you should die, or you should not. Because of the fan base. Oh, but people want her alive. Then keep her alive. Oh, but that moment is so iconic. Then do it. Oh, we can't. Oh, I'm done. No, you don't. Fuck off, Sqawn. And fuck this fucking YouTuber, man. I'm fucking like, seriously, I'm done. I'm done. You should not watch people like this, guys. You can do whatever you want. That's fine. But when I see YouTubers like this, it boggles the mind, man. It boggles the mind. It does. It boggles the fucking mind. Do you agree with him that yeah, exclusives are great, even though exclusives are dying right now, and they've been dying for quite some time actually. This is not new. Exclusives have been dying for at least probably almost 5 years now. Maybe a little bit more if you ask anybody. I'll just say 5 years because I think this year is the 5th year of it. But it's been happening for quite a while. Maybe it's probably the 7th year. Probably almost 10 years now about it. You know? Seriously. And all of this microtransaction stuff that all these video game companies want to do, that shit died in 2015 and you still want to push it. Every time I see that stuff, when it comes to games, I'm over here like, I don't care for it. I don't care. Fuck this game. Babylon Falls. I was looking forward like crazy for that game. I'm like, finally, something that Square was actually going to make. And then I see what they do with it, and I'm over here like, I'm done. I'm done. This could have been a classic for you. This could have been a new IP for you, Square, but you fumbled it. Not because it was action or turn-based. No, it's because they fumbled it. They fumbled it because they didn't care. They were paying attention of Grand Theft Auto and freaking Call of Duty and other of these microtransaction shits. I'm not even going to mention the FTC or some bullshit. Like, I'm not even going to mention that. Seriously. This YouTuber right here and other people like him and these companies, man, they suck the dick out of these people, man. Seriously. They praise them to the fucking moon and back until they are fucking 6 feet under. And us as YouTubers will just block them, forget about them, and they don't even exist anymore. For example, Dane West. I didn't care about that YouTuber at all whatsoever. So I blocked him. Because I didn't want to see his shit in my fucking feed. And guess what? I haven't seen his shit since. I don't know if he's even a YouTuber anymore. But I don't give a shit. I just don't give a shit. You know? Seriously. And hey, if you like his content, that's fine. To me, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. Probably a nice person in real life. But I just don't give a shit about the YouTube shit. Seriously. Or maybe he was a shitty person. I don't fucking know. I mean, he did like Final Fantasy, well, no, he didn't like Final Fantasy 2. He talked shit about Final Fantasy 2, which made me hate him even more, mainly because why are you going to talk about shit about Final Fantasy 2 when it was ahead of its time? Oh, you get to hit yourself that you didn't know that until someone told you it, right? I'm pretty sure you knew. I'm pretty sure that's true, right? Because everyone that I knew that hurt that shit did it to themselves also. And you can literally play the game regularly. And you having multiple characters to heal, you're a fucking idiot. That's more of a job for you to do grinding. You stupid dumbass. Even the game doesn't tell you it, but it shows you it gameplay wise. And you should already know it while you're freaking playing it. These gamers, these YouTubers are dumb as fuck. Fuck them. Seriously, you can disagree with me all you want. That's fine. But at the end of the day, it is my opinion. If you agree, cool. If you disagree, I don't give a shit. I just don't give a shit. I really don't give a shit. You know, again, if you're going to, strongly disagree, but in a mature way, that's fine. I don't care about that. But if you're going to be one of these YouTubers and act that way, I'm over here like, you know what? You're the reason why game is this way, and you're the reason why I talk shit about YouTubers like this. So, bye.